Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Alan Maldonado with Heels, which is debuting on Starz August 15th. Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you so much for being there.
Man, good to be here. Good to be here.
It's exciting. I mean, first questions. I mean, people are going to get to see it. You were one of the professional wrestlers in this. You played Rooster Robbins. Great name, by the way. What was it like? Like when you saw that in the script, that was going to be your name. What was going through your mind?
You know what? The name Rooster was. I thought of Rocky. I thought of Rocky immediately, and them like chasing out and how hard it was to catch and what a superior athlete you were if you were able to catch a rooster. So that was the first thoughts that came to mind when just from the name, but in reading the script and just understanding the character. Like Rooster's dope, man. He's the high flyer out of group, man. I got to do some really cool and fun stunts and wrestling moves.
A lot of personality.
Yeah. Rooster is he's definitely got his moments.
What was your knowledge or interest with professional wrestling prior to signing on Heels?
Just as a fan. And I was as a kid. So anybody in the 90s, if you were wrestling, you were into wrestling was huge.
Wrestling was my life, dude. Like it was a come on, man.
Huge,
yeah.
Man. Once I got, I always say it was what took me away from wrestling was basically girls. So that kind of once girls were introduced, it's like all right, I'm no longer watching Raw anymore.
Did you go back and watch a lot of tapes when you were casted though? Like, did you what was that process? I'm curious about the preparation process for this, just because I am a really big pro wrestling fan.
Got you. Okay. Well, yeah. No. Once I got the role, that was when it kind of all came back to me. All of those memories of trying to wrestle anybody you can find when you're an 8-year-old, jumping off of couches, and doing suplexes, and trying to put people in figure fours and all those things. I began to rewatch a lot of old matches, watch some incredible documentaries in regards to wrestlers and just getting what were the behind the scenes and just really the DNA of who these wrestlers were and what were a lot of their conflicts and issues and demons and all of those things, and began to piece together different wrestlers and how I wanted to add these elements to, the character of Rooster. So it was a lot of research.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love about the show, we're not going to go into super big spoilers, but this show, everyone knows about the grind in pro wrestling and in life. Life is a grind, right? This show really focuses on the grind, especially like with your character, where you guys are focused on making it and you want to make a name for yourself and you want the belt. But, Rooster's working at a nightclub. Rooster has another life, not just pro wrestling. Like, it really does a good job. Did you notice that in the script? That it really is kind of showcasing this grind and this everyday? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. You kind of see this kind of magical world and through the eyes of the everyday man. Rooster is, he got 4-5 jobs. He wrestles on the weekends and, he's doing whatever it takes to, make a living while chasing his dream.
Yeah.
And I think everybody can relate to that who has ever, made an attempt or are currently attempting to achieve their dreams. I think a lot of characters in this show have that same type of purpose. And I think people will gravitate to it.
And I think we have to set the record straight right now because I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. And I know that it is scripted and people use the word fake. But till this day, it irritates me when they say pro wrestling is fake. I'm going to tell you why. And it's brought up a little bit in the show too, in the locker room talk with you and James' character and everything. When you watch a movie and you see a stuntman do a stunt, he's doing the stunt, correct?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with pro wrestling.
Yeah. No, I mean the better answer is it's predetermined. It's not fake. It's predetermined.
Yeah.
You know who's going to win. But those moves, those dangerous, life-threatening moves that people are doing at the in while exhausted, they're real. Those bumps are real. In shooting this, I'm an actor playing a wrestler, but is no acting when you hit that mat.
Now, I just want to know, because I did talk to, a few of your other cast members as well, but I just wanted to set the record straight. I know a lot of you did some of your own stunts.
Yeah.
Did you do your own stunts?
Yeah, I did most of them.
Like most of them. But you had did you have a double
90%.
though?
Yeah, but I did 90% of them.
So were all your doubles pro wrestlers?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool. No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. We learned from the best. Like, that's who we trained with. Like, and figured out the choreography in which the moves that we were gonna do in whatever match. But no, I was wrestling full matches. Like, we weren't like, it was like you had a full routine. We didn't just do pieces.
No,
like, there were full matches that we wrestled and they were able to capture. So shout out to the entire cast. Everybody showed up and showed out when it came to the wrestling aspect. I think everybody was excited to get in there to do it. There's definitely a camaraderie, especially between me and James, as far as like who's going to be doing the craziest stuff in the ring.
Absolutely.
I did everything from moonsaults to front flipping out of the ring, landing on someone. Like, I was in there really wrestling.
I'm just curious in terms of the cast and crew. I mean, you have some unbelievable people in the cast that you got to work with, starting at the top, obviously. And a lot of the people in the cast, like yourself, have worked on a lot of unbelievable projects in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or, or played in the NFL, you know what I mean? What was that like, kind of being like in a super group cast almost, with you and like Blackish and all that, and then Stephen with Arrow, Alexander Ludwig with Vikings, Allison with her Broadway. I mean, that's pretty cool too, right?
I mean, we're the Avengers. We assemble together, we band together, all of these superheroes. But that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
To be honest, I remember after the table read, I reached out to Mike O'Malley, our showrunner, and I told him we in a room full of dogs. Like, everybody in here can act. Everybody in here can act, and they're hungry. Like, when you came to set, like, you better have your A game, or somebody will eat you alive. Like you better come and bring it. And I love that type of environment. And the wrestling just added to that kind of competitive nature that comes in, this world of acting.
Oh, absolutely. More of a general question, but you could tie it into heels. I mean, You've been a storyteller for quite some time. You've been in a lot of amazing projects. Does it still blow your mind how global and accessible content has become? That like you can have basically fans from all over different countries. Like, it's pretty unbelievable, like where we are right now.
It's insane, man. When I first started acting, it was black and white headshots, and people were mailing these things out. What? They were mailing these things out. There's no this can go out to the world in seconds. Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, now it's extraordinary to just have the impact, and just with sneakerheads on that was crazy. We was top 10 in the world. Like, what? Like, so to be able to get it to reach the audience that you're able to do with content is extraordinary now.
You have done a lot of shows that, have to do with like a lot of pop culture, if you think about it. You know what I mean? I've just when you just mentioned sneakerheads, it's just like the trifecta of like heels, sneakerheads, and
you got me thinking.
Because you mentioned sneakerheads, it's like, music, sneakers, pro wrestling. I mean,
yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's like a niche. Alan Maldonado's found a niche a little bit.
I got Wonder Years coming out in September as well.
I saw that. I saw that announcement. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah, we all right. We doing all right. We checking up all the boxes.
Is it interesting? I mean, you're doing this interview now, but like, is it interesting just the switch because of COVID? Obviously, you like had more time to do things like this. And now, although maybe you wanted to do a lot of interviews and want to do a lot of things, I mean, you're working, which is like what you do. You know what I mean? As like, what's the transition been from this year and last year compared to last year? I mean, what's that been like for you?
I'll tell you what, I needed last year. I needed that quarantine.
Yeah.
I was running, 5 years straight. I was working on 3 TV shows and writing for 2. I needed a break. So it was a great way to just kind of release, reset, refocus, and get ready, man. This is everything that I wanted. So I have to prepare and I have to balance myself in between work and personal. So I'm fresh for these interviews. I'm excited. I'm getting up for these things.
Yeah.
Rather than it feel daunting or it's work. I don't ever want this ever to feel like work again.
I just feel like it's just interesting where, a lot of people had projects that were out during the pandemic. Like Sneakerheads is one of them. Like they came out when everyone was at home. So people kind of like a lot of content creators got a lot of interviews, right? Because everyone was at home.
Everybody was at the house.
Yeah.
You couldn't be like, oh, I was busy that day. Like,
but now that's like not the case. Like you have some huge projects coming out, but a lot of people might not be available at all to be doing interviews because they'd be working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the landscape is like completely different, like from last year.
Yeah, I mean, think about even with shooting and filming and while we were doing Hills, it was a strict COVID that prevented my cat didn't want to get up there. That prevented you to travel or leave.
Yep.
So where now with the opening up a little bit, you can try to be able to squeeze in other projects or be able to get to interviews while shooting, but before you just couldn't. We wasn't able to get to it. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get a better handle and everybody can get back to work safe.
There's a lot happening in storytelling. You mentioned you act and write as well. Have you narrowed down one or two things you like the most about being a storyteller?
Well, aside from my cat trying to be in the interview, it's
just photo bombing.
Just photo bombing the interview. I really love,
because that's why I was gonna be like, what's your favorite thing about being a storyteller? But that would have been really hard, right? Because there's like a lot.
No, I just love creating worlds.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part because you have the power to just kind of, with your magical hands and fingers, just this person is this and this person is that, and where's the conflict? Where's the maturation? Where's the growth? Where's the discomfort? All these different things in these different worlds, and with not just live action, there's animation. Like you can create anything you want. So as an artist, it's just being able to have access to the world is what I feel when I'm, in storytelling.
And specifically with Heels, I mean, takeaway wise, we talked about what to expect, the grind, pro wrestling, the passion, but like diving deep into it a little bit more, when people get to dive into this world with Rooster Robbins and the Spades and everything, what are you hoping they get out of it?
Especially with Rooster Robbins, man. He's
what a name.
His dream. He's in pursuit of his dream. I know, right?
Sorry, I love that name.
Yeah, that's a Hall of Fame name. That's a Hall of Fame name.
It is. Yeah.
Be on the bus or something somewhere like Rooster Robbins. It's a journey of these individuals that are in pursuit of their dreams, and I think anybody that watches it relates to at least one or two of the characters and their plight, their struggles, their obstacles, the heartbreak, the pain, and the joy that comes with that chase. And I think that's what people are really going to gravitate towards. It doesn't have to do anything with wrestling. You don't have to be a wrestling fan to.
Well, yeah, because it's like you got like a two-headed monster going on a little bit too, because it is about wrestling in some capacities, but in other capacities, it's like about way more than just wrestling.
But it's really about these individuals finding themselves through wrestling.
Yeah.
And an independent league of wrestling, to speak, where money is very, 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 very short. So life is a little more difficult outside of wrestling because of it.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's amazing. And you guys did such a great job with the show, and I'm so excited for everyone to see it, man. Seriously. Um, thank you so much for your time and for doing
No
this
problem.
interview.
No problem. Thank you, brother, man. It's my honor.
So it's coming out. It's going to premiere on Starz August 15th.
Mhm.
So an episode is going to be released every week. So
Mhm.
people are going to be, you mentioned, when it comes out, we'll look out for you in the Wonder Years as well. I mean, it's exciting. Those announcements catch people off guard sometimes, eh? Like,
Yeah.
like I saw that, like it's such a secret, right? Like you obviously knew about that for a while, and then like we're focused on Heels, and it's like, oh, he's also going to be in the Wonder Years.
Right, man. It's just a beautiful time for me, man, and I'm so appreciative to have grown to this point.
Yeah.
I've done everything in this business, from being an extra to being a series regular on Sneakerheads to now be a part of these incredible shows, Heels, just this phenomenal action drama that I think people are gonna just fall in love with, and then an iconic show like Wonder Years.
And you got casted for Heels quite a bit ago, because I do remember, because I did recognize you from like shows like You're the Worst and everything. And I remember like seeing that you were going to be in the cast.
Yeah.
And was like, yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Well, because we were supposed to start in March.
Yeah.
And we were 2 or 3 weeks from heading to start filming, and then the world shut down.
Yeah.
And then we just had the opportunity to train up. I took the opportunity to really take that time to train and get ready for the show. So they made that announcement in March. We didn't get to start filming until like August.
I can't wait for people to get their own Rooster Robbins action figures. It's going to happen.
Yeah,
Man.
man. How cool would that be, man?
It would be amazing. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Maldonado is everywhere on Instagram. I'm really not on any other social media platforms other than that. But that's where I go. It's where a lot of my training videos, especially during Heels. They were doing a lot of training.
People love the behind the scenes. Like people they can't get enough of the behind the scenes videos.
And we had a ball making this show. But it was 5 a.m. workouts with James Harrison for 9 months. So it was a lot of room for content to say the least, man.
How many times on a week does his touchdown run get mentioned? I'm just curious. Like it's got to be mentioned at least like one time a month.
It's ridiculous to know that, he was a part of such a, moment in history. And
I remember like him on like after he got the touchdown, like the oxygen on the sideline.
Oh yeah. But I troll him all the time with this whole narrative that I was in a league with him.
Yeah.
So I'm always anytime anybody mentions this football stuff, I chime in like, yeah, we won the Super Bowl. And like I even made a mock picture of,
because he's a big like, I mean the narrative, like he's a big dude.
280, bro. Yeah,
and like the people will get to see it, but like the interactions between your characters on the show and some of the things you guys talk about is just pretty unbelievable. Like you get like that's a really good thing going on there. Like,
yeah, we got chemistry. That's my guy, man. And that was from those workouts, man. Like I wanted to shadow him. I was like, whenever you here, I'm here. And that's basically what I did.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you again. And this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. You're going to be able to catch Alan Maldonado as Rooster Robbins and Starz. Heels on Starz August 15th. It will be dropping. Until next time, is Alan Maldonado and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.